Hello, beautiful woman. I trust you've been doing awesome and great. We've been saying so many great things about who an ultimate woman is, but there's an aspect I want to touch today. We could talk about all the good things, how things should be, but what about how things should not be, when things break? When things break around, a strong lady, tough times that persist, and when negotiating the terrains of life become very difficult. Either you like it or not, as a strong lady, as a leader, as someone that is aspiring to get up there will always be seasonal changes in our individual lives. You can't pray it away because even nature dictates that is how things should be, you know. So, in nature now we have 4 seasons, technically, around the world. We have 4 seasons of nature, and somehow this plays out in our life. Winter season, the spring, the summer, and the autumn. No one is immune to the negativities of life as it is. No matter how good, talented, kind, beautiful or smart or whatever you are, the truth is life happens. The unexpected happens, the unintentional happens. But depending on how you handle or manage the situation, these happenings can either leave a mark of victory or defeat. The focus today is to let you know that this is not something you can avoid, no matter, as long as you're on earth. It's just seasons that happens. Things happen, things come, seasons come, season goes. Now let me start by illustrating, who a strong leading lady, someone that makes impact, who you are ultimately. I want to compare you to a flower. I don't know if you have heard about the lotus flower. This is a flower that have learned, it's a flower that has a very unique way of growing. It's one of the most beautiful flowers and sacred in the world. Many religions, they use it, for alongside their gods and in their worship, for this uniqueness that it has. These flowers appear prominently in wetlands. They always like swampy areas, mucky areas. And they will usually adapt to their local environment. They can survive also under ice as long as their roots remain in water or mud. In other extremes, they can tolerate scorching sun and often bloom when other flowers cannot tolerate the heat. They like clay, loamy soils, though they can survive in other types of soil across various regions. You know, and lotus flowers, they are also known to be very resistant to pollution. They can even purify the water they grow in. So you can imagine a flower that grows in the mud but purifies that environment. They don't mind an acidic or a dirty environment because that is where they find themselves, or that is what happens to them. So each night, what they do is that they submerge into murky river or water, and then in the morning they rebloom without residue from their environment. So they go into preserving the night. When they come out in the morning, you wouldn't even know that they slept in the mud. The durability of the lotus flower is a major contributor to it being associated with the gods. However, they can also die, but always they come back to life because the seed never die. No matter what, hope is never lost for a lotus flower. No matter the storm, once normal water level returns, the flower begins to grow again, even in the shallow part of, starting from the shallow part of wherever that storm happened. The flood may tear down their root system, but their seed always survive. The seed scatters around the lake, and it restores the abundance of this flower by the time the storms go down and the floods go down. Interestingly, their seed can survive for thousands of years without water and always return to bloom, even centuries later, as long as the seeds are there. So, my dear, you are like that lotus flower. You can see different things and different conditions with which this grow. The uniqueness of its growth is what differentiates that lotus flower from other flowers and makes a lot of religion to revere it, because it can survive every kind of soil, every kind of weather, every kind of season, every kind of time. You know, be resilient, and at the end, be standing strong. You know, you may be pressed, but you're not crushed. You may be struck down, but you're not destroyed. So I just want to touch on this matter today because there are so many people that whose destinies have been aborted because of difficulty. But difficulties cannot be avoided. The only strength to have over it is how you react to it. What you make out of it is the strength you have over tough times. But that tough times will always come around you. So there are some things I want you to keep in mind when this happens to you, as it happens to a lot of us, Number one, when difficulties or difficult times or tough times happen, find a reason to keep going. Don't find a reason to quit. Find a reason to keep going. It could be your original reason and motivation for starting in the first place. That might be what you need to go back to. What was your goal? What was your vision? What was your mission? It could be the end goal that you must remind yourself of daily, which is the mission. Maybe when you're looking at the end, when you put the end in mind, it will make you to keep moving. It could also be the pain that you're going through itself that will make you to say, you're going to make this pain to pay. It must not be wasted. Recognize the season. See each as the best, worst time to learn the best lessons. Bring out the best. Squeeze the juice out of it. Make lemonade out of the lemon. Find a reason to keep going. Make sure you do not try to say you want to give up. If you give up, you are the one that will be ashamed. You are the one that will not, get to that level. Number two, maintain attitude of gratitude. Seek perspective. Ask, how could it have been worse? See how there are some people that have worse situations than you. So by the time you look at it, you find out that you have a better perspective of whatever is happening to you. There are always stories around of how worse it could be. So look at the good that you're seeing there. What are the good that you can bring out? Remember, what is going on inside of you is more important than what is going on around or outside of you. So don't just look into the sunshine. Heroes don't look into that sunshine. What made heroes today is not who they are when they get to the top. No, it's not who they are when they get to the mountain top, but how they endured and navigated seasons of breaking. So appreciate those seasons. Everyone that have made a mark today, we have stories. They always want to go back to the stories. They won't really tell you at that point when they are ruling and reigning. They always want to let you know how I got here. You will hear them say things like, this is a story of how I overcame. You be part of that. Look forward to telling that story by maintaining an attitude of gratitude when you're going through any of such situations today. Again, that leads me to the next point, leveraging for growth. Hard times are nothing more than growth in wolf's clothing, says Robin Sharma, a motivational speaker. So taking your gifts and talents each day, use them to grow. What are the things that are coming out of you? How are they shaping you? How are you being shaped? How are you being impacted? You can either make everything painful or poetic. You can either wallow in, complaints or compliments. So ask, how can you use this breaking when things are breaking around you? It could be financial, it could be emotional, it could be spiritual, it could be anything. How can you grow? All the greatest people on earth, like I said again, they suffered more than the average people. I hope you know that. Everyone you see up there today, they suffered more than the average people. The root word for passion is suffer. but they face their passion with power. Suffer and success have something in common. Make sure that your life reflects these things, that at the end, what matters is the success you're going to get. Another point I want you to, look at is to feel to heal. Turn your pain into power. Go into your heart set to feel it and heal it. Dig deep into your heart in case it has its roots in childhood trauma. If what you're going through is a historical situation, it might be historical. So expose childhood root causes that may have happened. Try and trace back, okay, where is the beginning of this thing? So that you could properly address it and heal it. Another thing is this, one of my favorites. Develop that bring it on attitude, meaning that you learn to be confrontational. Go right into whatever challenge you are. Go right into the storm. Head into the eye of the storm with the aim to win. No matter what life serves you, tell life to bring it on. Don't run. Scare negativity with your resilience. Scare negativity with your courage and your boldness. Let even negativity know that this one has become very, very, bold, and nothing will do to this particular lady will break her. So when you learn how to stand your ground, you will remain unbroken. And in the very act of standing your ground is your greatest trials, you know. And in that greatest trial, you discover your highest strength. You can never, a gold does not come out purest without it going through fire. So know that when you go through these things, it is because of, you know, uh, 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 how your strength will come out more beautifully. So another thing I want to say is wearing your scar proudly. This is another thing that many people, this is one of the concerns of most people, why they don't do well when there are storms. Learning to wear your scar proudly and turn your wounds into wisdom. You are afraid, you are cautious, you are looking at the environment, and because of the society we live in, we don't even hear things like this, because all you will hear when there's a problem is, oh, what has she done, what led to that bad decision, this one. Yeah, those things may be right. A lot of things actually lead us into this kind of situations, but it is not about what lead us now. You're already in that situation. Coming out of it is what we're talking about, and doing well, surviving it and thriving in that situation. So when you are in such negative situation, wear your scar proudly. Let everyone that anybody is going through tough times should not make them to become topics of gossip or stigmatization or shame. You don't even have to mind any of such reactions from people. Your own responsibility is to chin up, head up, and make your shoulders straight. Walk like the queen you are, either with a crown of thorn, which will eventually turn to a crown of gold if you don't give up. So never mind what anyone says or comment about you when you are going through tough times. Turn your stumbling block into stepping stones and keep climbing. You will get there soonest. Remember that when you get knocked out, you are getting purified. So embrace that purification, because you will thank your life for how you survived that storm and did not give up. Don't be part of those who somebody said the richest place on earth is the graveyard, because a lot of people die with potentials that were never actualized. Don't die with your potentials. Many people die because they quit. So we don't want you to quit. You have dreams, you have aspirations, you have goals, you have things you want to achieve. Do not let those things, those inevitable things, come your way, stay in your way. Don't let them stay in your way. Keep moving, no matter what. I will close with the story of the Golden Buddha. This is a story that, I don't have so much of the full details, but I just want to mention the parts that is enough to draw out a moral lesson. There was a time that the statue of Buddha was made out of, a statue was made out of pure gold and put on public display in Bangkok. But when there was the sound of battle coming, they needed to find a way to preserve that statue that was made of pure gold. So they started putting, when the battle started pressing, they had to start looking for, they can't move the giant statue. So they started covering the statue with mud and sand. They put so much mud and sand on it that it got the shape and the look and everything totally disappeared. So what you will see is just a, a hillock of sand or mud. So when the enemies came to plunder the city and they killed and killing everyone, they could not see anything except this mountain of mud and death. So therefore they didn't even take cognizance of it, not knowing that there is something precious under it. So it was left like that. Of course, people died and nobody to actually tell the story of what happened, of what that mound was about. So for centuries, it remained like that until one day, a part kept chipping off, and then broke through to the pure gold under it. And then when the sun shone on it, it attracted everyone around because of the radiance. And everybody came around and said, "Oh, something is here." And that's how they started chipping away the mud that covered it. And they found a complete statue of pure gold under it. Guess what? You are like this golden statue. You're like this golden thing that has been covered with pure mud, because that, by the vicissitudes of life or whatever. No matter what happens on the outside, you were preserved. You were unaffected on the inside, even if things are happening. When the trouble ends, you will come out shining brighter when the mud are removed from you. So, my dear lady, whatever happens to you, I need you to keep moving on. Having done all, having obeyed all rules of life, all rules of progress, and moving on, success, whatever happens to you, instead of quitting, I need you to reset. I need you to restart. I need you to refocus. I need you to research and keep going. No matter what happens, be tenacious enough to keep going, either by flying or running or walking or crawling. At all costs, by all means, keep going. Thank you very much, and talk to you next week.